Hey there, soul friend. Welcome to Soul School. Here's Bodhi, if you're watching. All right, today's soul conversation is inspired by a 21-day meditation led by Deepak Chopra and Alicia Keys on connecting to your divine feminine energy. Bodhi agrees too. You might hear him in the background. And, I was so inspired by this that I created a free virtual yoga workshop in celebration of International Yoga Day on the 20th of June. And this is my theme for my new monthly membership, which begins in August. And if you're interested, all of the links are in the notes if you want to sign up. So today's conversation, today's invitation is to unite your masculine and feminine energies by inquiring how you view them and finding that balance between both so you can embody your softness and your strength and everything that you are. And I've had a lot of quiet time to reflect at 3 a.m. with this little guy, which means a lot of alone time to ponder and think. And what I've noticed in my quiet time is that I don't like it, and that I tend to have more of this masculine energy, this fire, the sun energy, the going, and most of my thoughts are like focused on the how and what to do next, like the tasks, right? It's very solution-oriented, very driven, very action-oriented. And I notice when I veer too much to the masculine, I feel off-balanced, and this leaves me feeling very competitive. And in return, it also keeps me in that scarcity mindset, like I'm not doing enough and I'm not enough. And these past few months, I've been in a lot of reflection during my maternity leave. And what I've come to know is this. In the stillness, I find more clarity. And it's through this, softness that I easily tap into my intuition. And through that, I can be more at ease and in flow. And I can get beyond the mind and its endless cycle of this chatter, right? That keeps me stuck in telling me to do more. And instead, I can slow down and rest in that softness of the present moment. And it's only in the present moment we find the answers, and we find joy. And to me, this is kind of the epitome of divine feminine energy. When the feminine is most powerful, it doesn't have to do anything at all. But when I say, we don't have to do anything, what does that bring up for you? Right? I know for me, I'm like, wait, what? And I think it's because society places more importance on like those masculine, I'm putting my quotation marks up, those masculine qualities, and often the feminine qualities become, buried or even seen as unimportant or weak. And I want to share with you a couple examples. At the beginning of this year, one of my male clients said his intention was to feel successful and accomplished. Both of these words are very masculine tones, right? But when we really dove into it with him, he was already successful in his business and his career. He made the money he wanted, and he had accelerated up to the director role that he had desired at such a young age. So then what really did the word success and accomplishment mean for him? Because he had already done that externally. And after a few private soul sessions, what we came to realize and what he really desired was to feel whole and worthy. So really, truly, success was a mindset, not an outward destination. And so he worked on the inner work of loving and accepting himself, nurturing that part of himself, that feminine, instead of the outer work of his roles and accolades. And it's that wholeness. The wholeness is key to joy. And one of my other Soul School clients in my Soul School program, she's a new mom and she works full time. And after a few sessions, she realized that she was yearning for quiet time to nurture herself, to tune in, to connect, right? But that felt really selfish to her. And whenever she did have some free time, she filled it. She filled it with all the things on her to-do list, like trying to check those off, because That's what our mind tells us what we should be doing, right? Be productive, get things done. But what the problem was is she was neglecting that feminine energy within her by only focusing on the masculine energy of, striving, accomplishing, doing, which left her feeling depleted and exhausted and disconnected and divided. And after a deep dive meditation of connecting to her kind of higher wisdom, her higher self, what showed up for her was the word softness. What she was yearning for was not to get more done or even have more time for herself, but to tune in to her softness. Now that's going to look like something different to each of us. But as she began to incorporate what softness looked like for her each day, she immediately felt more energized, more freedom, and more joy. And ultimately, isn't this what we're seeking? We're just to feel freedom and alive and joy every single day. To be in that flow of life, right? And what blocks us from feeling this is this feeling of being divided inside. You see, each of us holds both the masculine and the feminine qualities. But when we judge or ignore or disown certain parts of ourselves, we feel divided. We feel unworthy. We feel competitive. We feel broken or flawed. We don't feel we're doing enough. We don't feel like we are enough. So I invite you, take a moment and ask yourself, what does feminine energy look like for you or to you? What does masculine energy look like for you? And if you are able to do this, close your eyes and think about these words that I'm going to tell you. So, and just if you can quickly kind of think, are these masculine? Are these feminine? Are these positive? Are these negative? So the words loving, nurturing, winner, caring, compassionate, striving, successful, accomplished, vulnerable, brave, soft, beautiful, sensual, competitive, strong, a go-getter, intuitive, sensitive. So are any of those words that popped out uncomfortable? When we judge certain qualities, they become these shadow parts of ourselves. These parts of our personality that we kind of like vote off the island, right? So we kind of disown those parts of our personality, and that leaves us feeling broken and disconnected and flawed and maybe even unworthy. And in fact, you have all of these qualities within you, and then some. You have more, right? And befriending these shadow parts of our personality is the key to returning to your wholeness. And it's in your wholeness that you find joy. And I think our society tends to celebrate the masculine energy of doing, right? Of striving, of winning, of being strong and accomplishing. It's that more mentality. Now, these qualities are good and they are essential, right? They are. And it's also important to take time for our feminine energies, like rest and quiet time, of just listening, softness, that nurturing and vulnerability. And just like we need the yang energy, that fiery energy, we also need the yin energy to balance it. And what I found within myself, oh, bless you, Bodhi. What I found, bless you, within myself and my clients is that we actually don't need to do more. We've been doing that. That's more of the ego telling you to push harder and you're not doing enough. And I think we've had a whole pandemic year of that. And what we actually need to do is less, to stop and get quiet and tune in, to listen to your inner knowing, that soft whisper of your heart and soul, rather than the shouting of your mind and ego. And in a world that's telling us to go, 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 do more, accomplish more, in a world that profits from us feeling incomplete and not enough. And it actually wants us to compare ourselves to others, right? And not feel good enough. So we buy more, we do more. We consume more. But what if the real answers are in the slow down? To do nothing, to just be. What's your initial reaction to that? Does that feel weak? To do nothing? To just listen? Now, if that feels silly or uncomfortable or even like a little woo-woo, this is part of your shadow personality that wants to be seen and nurtured. Honestly, this is your divine feminine calling you to know her and be with yourself. So if you're available to do a meditation with me, a quick guided meditation, I invite you now to get quiet and still as we prepare to meditate. And you can close your eyes and sit up nice and tall. Even place your hands on your body, your heart, and take 3 cleansing deep breaths. Big breath in, filling up your belly and your heart. And big breath out and just soften here. Start to allow your mind to quiet and just settle into that stillness and softness. And ask, where are you feeling divided? Perhaps, where are you feeling overwhelmed, some angst? And just breathe into that tension. And instead of turning that into, a story or even trying to find the solution, I invite you to release the path and the how and just tune into that softness. Stay with your breath. The how is the mind and the ego trying to figure it all out. We've been doing that. The mind can't go deep enough to touch that feminine energy that just knows, that is present. Right? So focus instead on how you want to feel now. So as you breathe into every single cell, breathe in how you want to feel. Go beneath the noise of your mind and find the stillness and softness of your heart and soul. And it's that whisper. It's that whisper of your inner knowing that you come home to yourself. And ask yourself, what do I need to do for myself right now? Oh. It's in the stillness you'll hear those answers. Breathe deeply. What do you desire? And what do you need to do next? Not a to-do, right? But what is showing up for you? And this is this inner work of stop abandoning ourselves and start listening to our heart and souls. And when you can tune into your softness, you hear your truth. Your truth. And your intuition will guide you to where you need to go, what you need to do next, what you need to say. Not from the mind, but from your heart. All right, take one more deep breath. And just breathe in gratitude for this practice that helps you come home to yourself. And you can gently open up your eyes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, friend, for being here. So this week's invitation is to spend some sacred time alone, in quiet, with yourself, to attune to your feminine wisdom. And just get quiet and ask, how am I feeling? And what do I need? Not necessarily what you need to do on your to-do list, right? But what is your soul? What is your soul yearning for? And then listen, right? Just be. And just allow yourself to sit in your divine feminine energy. To be with yourself in the present moment, in your softness. To be with your intuition, that nurturing energy, so you can feel more creative. You can feel that love that vibrates, that compassion, and the trust. All right, let me know what this brings up for you and how I can support you further. And also the waitlist for my monthly membership of yoga, meditation, mindfulness tools, and live Q&A soul sessions is open. And I'd love for you to join me on this journey home to yourself. We start in August, and August's intention and theme is igniting the divine feminine, attuning to your softness and to your strength so you can feel total wholeness and joy and embody everything that you are. I hope you can join me. And as always, thank you for being here and part of the Soul School community. I cannot do this without you. Thank you for rating and subscribing and just being you. Remember, you are enough and you matter. Namaste, friends.